Dear learners, in this session, we shall be discussing different issues of elementary education in the formal sector in India. This topic is taken from Unit 6, Formal Sector of Block 2 of course MES 041 of PGDEMA program. Elementary education covers the lower primary from 6 to 11 years and upper primary from 11 to 14 years age group. It means successful completion of prescribed educational requirements till class 8. When Constitution was adopted in 1950, then Article 45 has been given much importance as education is the basic necessity of the democracy. Article 45 directs the state to provide free and compulsory education to all the children under the age of 14 years. According to Article 21, right to education is a fundamental right which cannot be denied to any citizen. Then in 2002, 86th Amendment to Constitution was made and Article 21A was inserted. According to Article 21A, the provision of free and compulsory education to children was added by the Constitution. Then on 4th August 2009, the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act RTE was passed by Indian Parliament. Education as a fundamental right to all children between the age group of 6 to 14. Article 21A and the RTE Act they came into effect on 1st April 2010. The title of the RTE Act incorporates the words free and compulsory. Article 21A means that every child has a right to full-time elementary education of satisfactory and equitable quality in a formal school which satisfies certain essential norms and conditions. Now let us discuss major issues of elementary education. Now the major issues of elementary education are: first, access to elementary education; second, equity; third, quality of elementary education; fourth, better infrastructure and human resources; fifth, provision of quality teaching learning resources; sixth, teacher development; seventh, management structure and institutional capacity building; eighth, management information systems MIS; and ninth, community mobilization. Let us now discuss access to elementary education. The speed with which access is provided to all children is dependent to a large extent on the success with which the central or the state governments manage the supply and demand interventions in elementary education. Now, availability of schooling facilities. This is one of the indicators of enhanced access. Then, Operation Blackboard to provide physical infrastructure in terms of school buildings, classrooms, additional teachers, and teaching learning materials. There are three components of this scheme. First, a building comprising at least two reasonably large rooms with a veranda and toilet for boys and girls. Second, at least two teachers, one of them preferably a woman in every school, and third, provision of essential teaching learning materials. Incentives like providing textbooks to students, especially SC/ST and girl children, introduction of awareness generation and involvement of local community, and introduction of national program of nutritional support like midday meal scheme. Now, if all these schemes are implemented with the right spirit, then it is possible to reduce wastage, stagnation, and the dropout rate. Second issue is equity in elementary education. Now, what is equity and how equity can help us in equality? Now, equity and equality, they both have the same purpose. Both promote fairness. Equality achieves this through treating everyone the same, regardless of need, while equity achieves this through treating people differently depending upon their needs. So, this different treatment may be the key to reaching equality. If equality is the end goal, equity is the means to get there. Now, as far as equity in elementary education is concerned, we find that there are disparities in access and participation of certain sections of the population and specific geographical locations. They have not benefited from the various interventions made so far in the field of elementary education. Then there is a need to rectify historical inequities through making appropriate changes in the policy framework on education. Like female children have been kept away from mainstream education primarily due to historical, cultural, and economic considerations. So now we can address these issues by increasing the number of schools, classrooms, and teachers along with recruitment of female teachers. Now, when we implement these interventions, then it has been seen that it has resulted in increase in enrollment, attendance, and retention of students. One more thing which is very important as far as the girl education is concerned, the provision for toilet facilities, especially a separate one for girls. This is a very important factor. Now, as far as the ST children are concerned, the main factor for non-participation is cultural discontinuity and use of an alien language for instruction. Now, here the role of a teacher as an agent of change is very important. Why the role of teacher is so important? Because teacher can create awareness amongst parents as well as learners through community involvement. Then the teachers can also have a good rapport and can provide support to the learners. Then the teaching learning materials, they need to be provided in local dialect because they can identify with the local dialect and this becomes easier for them. So if all these factors are taken care of, then we can resolve the problems of the learners, especially at the elementary education level. Third issue is quality of elementary education. Now, quality means a high degree of goodness or worth. So, what do we mean by the good quality elementary education? It is linked to its relevance to the learners. There are certain indicators of good quality elementary education, and these indicators are improvement in provision of infrastructure and human resources. Second, improved curriculum and teaching learning materials. Third, improved quality of teaching learning processes through child-centered methodology. Next, attention to teacher development. And fifth, increased focus on specifications and means of learners' achievement patterns. Now let us move to the next issue, which is better infrastructure and human resources in elementary education. Now better infrastructure, it constitutes teaching learning resources, number of teachers in a school, provision of renovation and repairs in the school building, and 2 teachers per school or 1 teacher per 40 children. Next issue in elementary education is quality teaching learning resources. We find that in the classrooms, children, they have multi-ability, they belong to different age groups, and they come from different socio-cultural backgrounds. Now, when the classroom has such a heterogeneous group of children, then the role of teacher is very important, and the teacher's capacity building must be given the importance so that they can handle such children. Next issue is focus on teacher development. When it comes to the teacher development, then I would like to mention here the recommendations of National Policy of Education 1986. Now the first recommendation was decentralization of the technical and academic inputs for better capacity building for working teachers, and second, setting up of diets to be established in all districts to cater to the needs of elementary education. Then in 1990, ICT and distance mode, they have been used for teacher training by IGNOU and NCERT. Then setting up of NCTE as a statutory body of the Government of India by an Act of Parliament, and NCTE has worked extensively for pre-service and in-service teacher development in the country. Now next we move to the management structure and institutional capacity building. Now here country is committed to achieve the target of the universalization of elementary education. So for this purpose, we need to mobilize all possible resources to achieve the target of universalization of elementary education. Then a number of centrally sponsored schemes have been implemented. Micro planning, this is very important. This is a process of designing a family-wise and child-wise plan of action by which every child regularly attends school or non-formal education center and continues his education at the place suitable to him and completes 8 years of schooling or its equivalent at the non-formal center. Now this may be carried out at the block, taluk or district levels. Then Operation Blackboard, we have already discussed the provision of infrastructure facilities, non-formal education and minimum levels of learning. Minimum levels of learning we have already discussed in the last session. Let us now move to the next issue, that is management of information systems. MIS provides detailed information about schools and each child, the enrollment status, the reasons for dropping out. MIS also provides data about teachers like attendance and performance. So the management of information systems, this is very important as far as the data about teachers and students is concerned. Now the Last issue which I want to discuss in this session is community mobilization. That means empowering community for viable strategies and interventions for promoting universalization of elementary education at the village level. Now, this issue is very important as far as the elementary education is concerned because the teachers may be taken from the community resources may be utilized, and the focus on the curriculum, which is which takes many examples from the community itself. So community mobilization plays a very important role as far as the universalization of elementary education is concerned. Now let us discuss the concerns for the future. What are the concerns for the future with regard to universalization of elementary education? Now shift from mere enrollment to retention and completion of elementary schooling, reaching out to marginalized and remote locations, teachers from community, especially women teachers, and linking education to life and livelihood. These are some major concerns. Dear learners, you can reach me at these two email addresses, and thank you very much for this session.